What if Palpatine abandoned Anakin on Mustafar? In Revenge of the Sith, we witnessed the epic duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan, and how by the end, Obi-Wan sliced Anakin's limbs off and left him to burn. As time passed, Palpatine eventually found Anakin lying along the lava bank and as a result, decided to save his life. From there, he was then placed into his new black suit and became the Emperor's right-hand man. But what if things were different? What if Palpatine never saved Anakin back on Mustafar and instead just left him there as a punishment? How different would the events have played out if this happened? Well, on this alternate timeline, that's exactly what we'll be diving into, so let's get right into it. Our story begins just moments after the climatic duel between Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan had just defeated Anakin, and after exchanging some words, he then picked up his old friend's lightsaber and walked away. Now, Anakin lied on the lava bank all by himself, filled with nothing but hate and anger. Every part of his body was in agony, but he refused to give up. He refused to allow this to be the end of his story. He had hatred and he had anger, and he was going to use that to keep himself alive no matter what. However, this is now where our story is different from the original. As Anakin laid on the bank, he saw a silver flash of metal in the sky. It was Palpatine's shuttle. In a way, Anakin was relieved to see Palpatine's shuttle, since that meant he'd finally get some medical attention right away. Or at least, that's what he thought. As Palpatine arrived along with his 2 clone troopers, he saw Anakin lying there all by himself. Palpatine then looked at his troopers.
Troopers, report back to the ship immediately.
Yes, sir. Right away.
Palpatine then walked over to Anakin's body.
Lord Vader, I am most disappointed by your failure.
Anakin went silent. He was too weak to even speak.
For years you were destined to be my apprentice, my second in command to this empire. However, you couldn't even defeat the pathetic Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi. How unfortunate for you.
Anakin stayed quiet.
As a punishment for your failure, I will leave you here to rot. Such weakness will not be tolerated in my galactic empire. Die well, Lord Vader.
From there, Anakin was left all alone, all by himself on the lonely lava bank on Mustafar. As he laid there, rage swelled up within him. Every inch of his body was filled with hate and anger, but not just towards Obi-Wan Kenobi, also Darth Sidious. However, he refused to give up. He had to make sure that Padme was alive. He had to make sure that she was okay. Anakin wasn't going to let these injuries stand in his way of that. So, using all his hatred in the dark side to keep him alive, Anakin started crawling up along the bank. Although he didn't know the planet Mustafar that well, he told himself that if he could crawl his way to the Separatist war room that he was in earlier, perhaps he could find enough tools to rebuild himself. Just hours ago, he slaughtered both droids and all the Separatist leaders in that room. Although it would take him time to get there, he thought to himself that was his best chance of survival. As days passed, Anakin kept crawling his way towards the War Council room. Over these past days, Anakin had no food, no drink, nothing. All he had was his hatred towards Obi-Wan and Darth Sidious. That's all he needed, and minute by minute, his connection to the dark side only became stronger as time went on. Luckily for Anakin though, his journey just crawling would eventually come to a close. Anakin finally made his way to the War Council room, and now it was time to get to work. Although the room was filled with dead corpses everywhere, he was able to find a few B-1 battle droids just lying there. So using the little strength he had, he grabbed one of the droids and started building right away. Using this droid, he intended to build himself 2 legs and 1 new arm. Although it would be extremely weak armor, it would get the job done. For now. So Anakin started tinkering with the parts just like he did when he was a little boy on Tatooine. For his whole life, he always loved building things, and this right here reminded him of his childhood. However, he quickly snapped out of it. If he were to survive, he couldn't let up. He had to focus on his anger. That was the only thing keeping him alive right now. So as time passed, Anakin's new droid legs and arm were built, and he could finally walk. Although he was able to walk, it was extremely hard for him, and with every step he took, he had to concentrate and use the Force just to be able to move forward. So at that moment, he knew he had to get an upgrade immediately. He could only survive like this for so long. If he were to find Padme, he had to wear something more sustainable. So Anakin came to terms that he had to get off this planet immediately. Without hesitation, he then left the War Council room and started walking back to his old Jedi ship that he left there earlier. Using that ship, he'd be able to get off this planet at once. However, on his way over, he saw something on the ground, his old Jedi robes. Anakin remembered that he left them there earlier during his confrontation with Obi-Wan. Now, since his whole body and face was essentially burned, the least he could do was wear these Jedi robes as a disguise until he had new armor. So Anakin picked up the robes and made his way to the ship. From there, he then left Mustafar and made his way to a new destination, Coruscant. As time passed, Anakin eventually arrived on Coruscant, hoping to get some medical attention right away. However, he had to lay low. He had to do all this behind Sidious's back so that he'd never know he survived. Then it hit him, the Jedi Temple. If Anakin went to the Jedi Temple, there was a chance he could head into the abandoned medical bay to repair himself. He always remembered that the Jedi kept hold of some of the most advanced medical equipment, which might be enough to help him. Although the Jedi Temple was completely destroyed, there was a chance he could find what he was looking for. So Anakin made his way to the temple with his brown robes covering his burnt face and his burnt body. However, as he made his way to one of the entrances, he was stopped by 2 clone troopers.
Stop right there. Do not take another step.
Anakin put his head down. As he did, one of the troopers looked at the other.
Is he a Jedi? I'm not sure, but I refuse to take any risks. Execute him immediately.
Out of nowhere, Anakin force-choked both clones and cracked their necks. From there, both of their bodies dropped to the ground. However, Anakin didn't say a word. He had one thing and one thing on his mind only, and nothing was gonna stop him. So Anakin made his way through the temple and kept his head down the entire time. Luckily, the other troopers in the temple didn't notice him, and he was able to make his way to the medical bay. However, the unexpected happened. As Anakin made his way to the bay, he heard a voice right behind him.
You are bold for returning here, Lord Vader.
Anakin turned around. It was a man in a black outfit. However, this individual seemed oddly familiar. Was that a temple guard? Anakin recognized his voice.
My Emperor has informed us that you were dead. He will be shocked to see otherwise.
Anakin's eyes blazed with yellow and red. What was he talking about?
Who is us?
Did he not inform you at the time? The Emperor has introduced a new program called the Inquisitorius. We will be responsible for hunting down the remaining Jedi across the galaxy, and I alone have the honor of leading this group. I am now known as the Grand Inquisitor.
You make a grave mistake, Grand Inquisitor.
And what mistake could that possibly be?
You think leading a group of Jedi hunters is going to earn you favor from the Emperor?
Anakin chuckled.
No. You are nothing but a tool to him. Just like me, he will abandon you as well.
The Grand Inquisitor went silent.
Join me. We can overthrow him together, and this galaxy can be ours.
Join you? You mean what's left of you?
Anakin swelled up with rage.
Don't you see? I will be taking your place. As you know, there can only be 2 Sith at a time, and the role of the apprentice is now open for me to take.
Shall we put that to a test?
Oh, I believe it is you that makes a grave mistake, Skywalker.
From there, the Grand Inquisitor ignited his double-bladed saber and went in to attack Anakin, but then... Out of nowhere, Anakin force-choked him with all the strength he had, and as he did, he said,
The only mistake here is your arrogance. Now, I give you one last chance. Join me, or die.
Okay, I will join you.
Anakin dropped the Grand Inquisitor to the ground. As he did, the Grand Inquisitor was shocked. He thought to himself, how was Lord Vader this powerful? From the outside, he looked weak and burned, but even with that, he was still so strong. The Grand Inquisitor was speechless.
Now, Grand Inquisitor, if we are to overthrow the Emperor, I will require an upgrade. I need you to use your resources to get me the best medical droids and doctors nearby. But whatever you do not let the Emperor find out about this. Keep it under wraps.
He will sense that you are nearby. You do know this Jedi Temple will be remade into the Imperial Palace tomorrow, yes?
What?
Yes, the Emperor is reforming this Jedi Temple into his own palace. A parade is scheduled outside here tomorrow.
And let's make this quick. Get me those doctors, and let's get to work right away.
I understand, but you do realize that rushing the doctors will not make the suit fully functional. It will have flaws if so.
I don't care. I want results, not excuses.
It will be done.
As the Grand Inquisitor said this, he began to walk away, but Anakin stopped him.
Grand Inquisitor, one last thing.
Yes.
I need a report on where Senator Padme Amidala is located. Find out for me. Immediately.
Yes, Lord Vader.
As time passed, the Grand Inquisitor rounded up one doctor and 2 medical droids to begin the procedure on Anakin. From there, they all got to work on him and spent hours and hours constructing his new suit. However, during this operation, Anakin stayed awake for every moment of it. No anesthetic, nothing. He wanted to feel every ounce of pain. The reason for this was because Anakin wanted to use this as an opportunity to deepen his connection to the dark side. Luckily for him, he did just that, and eventually his operation was complete. However, since the surgery was rushed due to the parade the next day, Anakin's new suit wasn't the best thing imaginable, but it would get the job done. Now, instead of his weak droid pieces, Anakin had more advanced armor around his body, as well as a new mask that went over his mouth. This mask was connected to a life support system that he could breathe through, that way he could stay alive. Although half of his face and parts of his body were still exposed, this would just have to do for now. For him, it was more than good enough to overthrow Darth Sidious. So now that the surgery was done, Anakin rose from the table and looked over at one of the doctors.
Lord Vader, the operation is now complete. You may now do as you did.
Out of nowhere, Anakin force choked the doctor nearby, and from there he lashed out. Using all his strength and the force, he destroyed all the equipment around him, as well as the 2 medical droids nearby.
But Lord Vader, we helped you.
The Empire thanks you for your service, Doctor.
With that, Anakin cracked his neck and dropped him to the ground. The doctor was dead and every droid around him was crushed. The only 2 in the surgery room now were the Grand Inquisitor and Anakin Skywalker.
Grand Inquisitor.
Yes, Lord Vader.
Where is Senator Amidala? I demand answers.
I have done my best to find as much intel as I could. At the current moment, I have heard multiple different reports. However, many have said that she is dead, Lord Vader.
Dead?
Anakin swelled up with rage.
Yes. From what I've heard, her funeral was yesterday on the planet Naboo.
Anakin clenched his fist. No. She couldn't be. She wasn't dead. She was alive. He felt it. Anakin's eyes blazed with orange and yellow. He blamed one person and one person only for this. Darth Sidious. He was the one who promised they would save her together. Now she was dead? Anakin wanted revenge, and nothing was gonna get in his way.
Grand Inquisitor, prepare your shuttle. We leave to confront the Emperor at once.
But Lord Vader, you have no weapon.
Anakin paused.
Was every Jedi in this temple killed?
From what I am aware of, yes. You ensured that when you raided the temple here with the 501st. However, we have not searched the trainee dormitories yet.
Then that is where we will go, Grand Inquisitor.
From there, Anakin and the Grand Inquisitor stormed the training dormitories where a lot of the younglings and Padawans lived. Although it's been days since Order 66 took place, Anakin believed that maybe he'd find an unlucky survivor. Luckily for him, he was right. As Anakin walked into one of the dormitory rooms, it was there where he saw 2 young Jedi younglings hiding behind one of the beds. As Anakin looked at them, they were shaking. They looked terrified.
Do not worry, younglings. This will be all just a bad dream.
Without remorse, Anakin force choked both younglings and within seconds killed them both. Anakin didn't care anymore. He killed the younglings back at the temple a few days ago, and now he did it again. This time though, he felt no regret. If Padme was truly dead, he was gonna get his revenge. Sidious went too far. So Anakin picked up one of the youngling's sabers, and from there, he did something unexpected. Out of nowhere, he lifted the saber and concentrated deep in the dark side. Using all his focus, he opened the lightsaber hilt with the kyber crystal now exposed. From there, Anakin focused more and more and poured all of his hidden anger into the crystal. As he did, the crystal started forming a new color, red. Anakin didn't stop though. He kept going. His rage became more and more. His anger only grew. Then before he knew it, it was done. The kyber crystal was now red. Anakin had successfully bled this lightsaber. So as he stood there, he then ignited the saber, and with that, a crimson red blade emitted. As the Grand Inquisitor stood behind him, he was shocked at everything he just witnessed. He was still stunned that Anakin just killed those younglings without hesitation. Lord Vader was ruthless.
Now, Grand Inquisitor, let us confront the Emperor at once.
As time passed, Anakin and the Grand Inquisitor made their way to Palpatine's office, where it was there they would confront him. Anakin was ready. He wanted revenge. So the two eventually made their way up, and as they entered, Palpatine started cackling.
Guards, leave us. Lord Vader, you survived.
Are you surprised?
I am. After your defeat to Obi-Wan Kenobi, I lost faith in your abilities. But it seems you have proven me wrong.
Where is Padme?
Padme? Oh, Lord Vader, don't you know? I assume you've heard by now. Your wife is dead, my old friend.
Anakin clenched his fist.
How? She was alive.
I felt it.
It seems in your anger, you killed her.
I couldn't have. You promised me we'd save her.
I did. However, it seems in your rage, you chose a different path.
You will suffer for what you have done.
That was your own doing, Lord Vader, not mine. But now, it seems you have conspired with the Grand Inquisitor to overthrow me. How unfortunate for you both. You both must quickly forget that it was I who granted you each an opportunity at a better life. Grand Inquisitor, I offered you a chance to lead the Inquisitorius. Just like the thousands of other Jedi, you could have been killed as well. But I saw more in you. Now you have betrayed me.
The Grand Inquisitor went silent.
Your rule
Ends here.
With that, Anakin ignited his crimson red saber. The Grand Inquisitor did the same.
So be it.
Palpatine then ignited his and leaped towards the two of them. With that, it was now a duel between Palpatine, Anakin, and the Grand Inquisitor. However, as the three fought, both Anakin and the Grand Inquisitor quickly realized they couldn't keep up with Palpatine. He was just too powerful. The way he moved, the way he fought, everything. As Palpatine used both of his sabers against them, he was just too quick and agile. It was almost like he was toying with them. Anakin was speechless. So the three kept clashing, but Palpatine had enough. Out of nowhere, he dropped one of his sabers and let out a bolt of Force lightning right at the Grand Inquisitor, knocking him to the floor. With him knocked down, it was now a 1v1 duel between Anakin and Palpatine. However, Anakin just wasn't strong enough. It's only been just a few hours that he's had this new suit. He wasn't used to it. He couldn't move the way he used to. His body was too weak. His burns, his injuries, everything. Palpatine knew this, so he had to take advantage of that. Without hesitation, he let go of his other saber, and out of nowhere, just like the Grand Inquisitor, Palpatine unleashed a bolt of Force lightning right at Anakin. Now both Anakin and the Grand Inquisitor laid on the ground injured, unable to move. Palpatine had won the fight, and the two were defeated. However, he wasn't finished. Palpatine then walked over to the Grand Inquisitor, who was struggling on the floor. As he did, he ignited his saber right over his body.
Grand Inquisitor, unfortunately, it seems you have taken advantage of my offerings to you for the last time. Such treachery will not be permitted in our galactic empire. Die well.
Without mercy, Palpatine stabbed his lightsaber right through the Grand Inquisitor's chest, killing him once and for all. As he did, Anakin laid there in horror. However, he couldn't move. He was too weak. He thought he could overthrow Palpatine, but he was just too weak. Every part of him wanted to kill him right here and right now, but he couldn't. He just couldn't. Palpatine then walked over to Anakin.
Do not worry, Lord Vader. I'm not going to kill you. You see, I wanted you to survive.
You lie. You left me there to die.
Ah, yes. And do you know why? It was a test, Lord Vader. You were too weak. Your feelings for your old master, your feelings for your Jedi Order, your feelings for Padme. All of these are in the past, Lord Vader. Your beloved is dead. Accept it. Even the dark side can't bring her back now. However, her death has brought you a gift.
What gift?
Pain, anger. Such are emotions that will make you stronger in the dark side.
Anakin went silent.
There is a reason I have not searched for a new apprentice yet, my old friend. I was waiting here for you. As I said, leaving you behind on Mustafar was a test, and you passed. Now I present you with an opportunity. Join me. Allow me to show you the true power of the dark side, and you will fulfill your destiny. Or die.
At that moment, Anakin realized he had nothing. Palpatine was right. The love of his life was dead, his unborn child was gone, the Jedi Order had collapsed, everything he knew, everything he cared for was now over with. The only person he had left in his life was Palpatine. Without serving him, there was no point of living anymore. Anakin had nothing. He now finally understood the trap of the dark side.
I will join you.
Good. Very good. Now, Lord Vader, rise. We shall construct you a new suit, one that will make you far stronger and more powerful. From there, we will begin our work immediately.